Welcome to healthyayurveda.com. I'm Dr. Mike Dhaliwal, Vedic Sage. Today we'll talk about OJAS. OJAS being that which is involved with vitality and immunity. OJAS is described as that which binds four things. The four things being the body, the senses, the mind, and the soul. So obviously the concept of OJAS is extremely vast, and whatever's conveyed will always fall short of truly capturing the complete meaning. That said, and for the sake of starting simple, Ayurveda gives the analogy of OJAS as being similar to the honeybee that collects the essence of hundreds of flowers and accumulates this essence into the hive. Similarly, the essence or the excellent portion of bodily tissue circulates throughout the body and helps to maintain natural resistance and resilience, which can be likened to the immune system. So the beauty of this is that immunity is not based on artificial means, for example, vaccinations, but rather immunity and well-being begins with proper nourishment. So the food we eat undergoes the process of digestion, and through the action of Agni, or the digestive metabolic flame, which is also under the influence of doshas being Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, the end product of digestion creates what we call ahara rasa. This food juice is the raw and unprocessed form of what will become rasa dhatu, which is the plasma, the lymph, and the nutritive precursors of all the 7 dhatus, or bodily tissue. So as this aharasa continues to be transformed into successive dhatu, with each successive dhatu, the remnants of aharasa becomes more refined and subtle, and the best portion of each successive dhatu collectively produces an essence in the form of OJAS. And it's this OJAS which provides strength, vitality, and immunity against diseases. OJAS is explained to be predominantly of the water element and characterized as being unctuous, white-colored, cool in potency, stable, soft, and slimy. And because of these qualities, Sushruta explains that OJAS provides stability and growth of muscles, the ability to perform actions without hindrance or restrictions. OJAS provides clarity of voice, brightness and luster in one's complexion. The organs of actions, for example, are limbs. The excretory organs function properly. The sense organs, for example, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, all function accordingly and properly. And OJAS nourishes the mind and keeps all living beings refreshed. Sushruta goes on to explain that all parts of the body are pervaded by OJAS. And when OJAS is decreased or vitiated, organs of the body begin to degenerate. We can think of OJAS as bala, or strength, which provides the body the strength to avoid or fight off disease and aging. So bala, or OJAS, is not just mere physical strength, but rather provides the resilience, the immunity, and the inner biological wisdom to keep one healthy. Ayurveda explains that there are 2 main forms of OJAS. Para OJAS, which is the principal form of OJAS, which is located in the heart, and Apara OJAS, which is mobile, circulates around the body, and is nourished by food. So Para OJAS is measured as 8 bindu, and it's explained that even if a little Para OJAS is destroyed, the body will be affected. On the other hand, Apara OJAS is the form of OJAS which is formed by the excellence of all bodily tissue, hence it's nourished by food, and it's this form of OJAS which provides biological strength and the resilience to fight disease, hence closely resembling immunity. Those having ideal OJAS are described as being happy, cheerful, blissful. These individuals are loving and compassionate. They have strong immunity. They have good knowledge and memory. These individuals have good complexion with a glowing skin and eyes full of luster. And of course, these individuals have strength, stamina, along with good sexual endurance. However, OJAS may become decreased due to injury to the body, loss of bodily tissue, for example, excess fasting and or starvation, overexertion, for example, physical exercise and exhaustion, along with psychological factors such as anger, worry, and grief. Ayurveda mentions 3 stages of imbalance pertaining to OJAS. OJAS may be displaced, called Ojo Visramsa. OJAS may be disturbed by one or more doshas, called Ojo Vyapad. And OJAS may be decreased, called Ojo Kashaya. So Ojo Visramsa, or displaced OJAS, presents as looseness of joints, fatigue and weakness of the body, which is associated with displacement of doshas. Dr. Ladd mentions in his textbook several considerations such as Vata pacifying diet, Balya Chikitsa with herbs such as Balla, Vidari, and Ashwagandha, Bruhana Chikitsa with foods such as almond milk and rice pudding, and of course, rest and relaxation, being in the company of positive people, and being happy and cheerful all help to prevent the loss of OJAS and or promote the formation of OJAS. And even simple recipes such as ghee dates or eating ghee-soaked dates in the morning, or for example, having 10 soaked and peeled almonds with a teaspoon of ghee, a teaspoon of date sugar, and a pinch of cardamom all helps to increase OJAS. And the second stage of imbalance of OJAS is OJAS Vyapat, or OJAS which is disturbed by doshas. This presents as stiffness and heaviness within the body. And depending on which dosha is the underlying cause of imbalanced OJAS, various signs and symptoms will present, which requires the ability to assess which dosha is predominantly responsible for creating the imbalance of OJAS, and then creating a management plan accordingly. For example, Vata will create stiffness in the body associated with emaciation, confusion, extreme tiredness, and being fatigued. And if Vata is high and the root cause for disturbing OJAS, one would then consider something that would help to pacify Vata dosha. For example, ashwagandha in ghee, the ghee helping to replenish OJAS, while ashwagandha helping to pacify Vata dosha. If Pitta is high and the root cause of disturbed OJAS, this may present as inflammatory and or autoimmune conditions due to tejas burning OJAS, presenting as gout, rheumatic fever, or even exacerbations of multiple sclerosis and other demyelinating conditions. Therefore, one would consider something that would help to pacify Pitta dosha while replenishing OJAS, such as Brahmi ghee. And if Kapha is high and the cause of disturbed OJAS, this may present as a feeling of heaviness of the body, dull-minded, excess sleepiness, and edema. And if this be the case, one would then consider Pipali ghee, which would help to reduce Kapha dosha while helping to replenish OJAS. And finally, the third stage of imbalanced OJAS, or Ojo Kashaya, which presents as signs and symptoms of the first 2 stages, but also involves delusions, delirium, fainting, one can go into a coma, or even could lead to death. So obviously this requires emergency care, hospitalization, and it's beyond the scope of this video. So we'll leave it at that. This covers the basic introduction into OJAS, along with basic management considerations strictly for educational purposes. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and until next time, be well.